The construction of buildings, roads, bridges, drainage systems will continually have to change. Adaptation is right there, in front of us, hiding in plain sight. Weather and climate. These are two words we often use interchangeably, but it's important that we know the difference. Weather is what we see when we look out the window. Climate, that's the average of that weather over a long period of time, usually 30 years. So when our forecasters are on TV saying it's wetter than normal or hotter than normal, by normal what they mean is the climate of now. But the climate in Ireland around 1900 was different to the climate now, and it's that difference or change in the climate is what we call climate change. Now, running climate models, we're able to see under all scenarios, even the most optimistic scenarios, the world continues to warm. And it's this warming that causes the knock-on consequences, like rising sea levels, changes to rainfall patterns, and increased risks to forest fires. My name's Keith Lambkin. I lead the climate services team here at Éireann, where we monitor and analyse Ireland's climate, as well as providing policymakers and decision makers with the latest climate information for Ireland. There are lots of climate projections that cover Ireland, and this can lead to some confusion. That's why Éireann, working with many partners around the country, developed the Translate Climate Projection Series. What the Translate series does is it takes all the projections and combines them into one unified set. And by making this projection series for Ireland easily accessible to users and decision makers, it makes it far easier for them to take action. In fact, using the Translate data series, it means that all sectors in Ireland are effectively singing from the same climate hymn sheet. There are basically two ways governments all around the world tackle climate change. The first is what we call climate mitigation, and ultimately this is about reducing emissions. Solar panels, electric cars, wind farms, these are all examples of climate mitigation. Climate adaptation, well, this can be thought of as changing the way we do things, the way we plan, the way we build, in order so we can cope better with current and future extreme weather. Take roads. Transport Infrastructure Ireland used latest past climate data and future climate data in order to ensure that the roads we build today are capable of handling high-intensity rainfall events of the future. Take buildings. The Building Standards team at the Department of Housing use specialised climate services and tailored information to ensure that the houses and buildings that we build today don't overheat in future extremes. Much of the climate policy we have here in Ireland relates back to the original Climate Bill in 2015 and subsequent amendments, in which it describes how we're trying to reduce emissions in Ireland, largely through the use of a mechanism called carbon budgets. It also looks at how we can adapt better with the introduction of a national adaptation framework, which calls on all sectors in Ireland, health, transport, agriculture and so on, to put together adaptation plans, how those sectors will adapt to current and future changes in extreme weather. When we think of opportunities in relation to climate action, it's important we think about the win-wins. And they're out there. We think about active travel, cycling or walking to work where possible rather than taking the car. Not only are we reducing emissions, we have the added benefit of improving our physical and mental well-being, ultimately helping reduce pressure and cost on the health system. We know in Ireland that things are continually going to warm, and there are opportunities as well as many risks in this. Opportunities including longer growing seasons in agriculture, but also extra possibilities in relation to tourism. Things have already gotten wetter in Ireland and they're predicted to get even wetter again. But again, there's opportunities. If we can harness this additional rain, provide extra fresh water, we can also look into producing extra hydroelectric power. While we look for opportunities, we do have to be mindful of maladaptation. This is taking actions now in the short term which we think are good, but have a bad effect over the medium and long term. Take, for example, planting a forest is a sensible thing to do to remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. But if we plant it in such a way that it's likely to take fire, that at some point in the future, not only is the danger of that fire, but also we've released all that carbon back into the atmosphere, ultimately making the problem worse. Recent storms have shown us that Ireland is maybe not as resilient as it could be when it comes to extreme weather. In fact, if you do adaptation correctly, nobody should notice it at all. Roadways will not flood, buildings will not overheat, electricity grids will not go down. A recent study from the World Meteorological Organization informs us that over one calendar year, 44 Europeans died as an account of flooding. Another 44 died by forest fires. 63 died on account of storms, while tens of thousands of Europeans died prematurely on account of extreme heat stress. By implementing adaptation actions in a meaningful way, we are protecting property, local economies, and literally saving lives.